Welcome to Fitness and Finance, the big, beautiful show. All right, there we go. How about that for an intro, huh?
Wow. It does not get better than that.
Starring Jeffrey Smith and Jennifer Scherer.
Yes.
And I'm your co-host, Tony Shore. Love it. It is a big, beautiful show. Every time we say that, boom.
Oh, man.
In the words of the Trumpster, bigly. The show will be bigly. Bigly. So this is going to be fun. We're going to talk a little bit about the big, beautiful bill and then how health is wealth. I love it. But first, we've been gone a week. I had to take a little family trip. Had an opportunity. My wife had a business conference out in Palm Springs, California. So the girls and I tagged along.
Nice.
And we stayed at a resort, 42 swimming pools, got to go to the Living Desert Zoo, actually touched a rhino and fed a rhino. One of the greatest experiences. Went in the largest tram in the Western Hemisphere is the Palm Springs tram, which goes up from the desert all the way up to the top of the mountain. And it's huge and it rotates as you go up. So you get all the views of the mountains in the valley, and you can see down into the Mojave Desert. So that's what I've been doing. How about you guys? What have you been doing? Let's
back to follow.
Let's see how your lives compare.
Yeah. So let's talk to the regular folks.
Ribbon cutting.
Let's just talk.
We did have a ribbon cutting.
Yeah, we did. We had the ribbon cutting.
That was nice.
But first of all, before we get to us, I really, I want to see how close the picture of you touching the rhino was to David Spade and Chris Farley and Tommy Boy when they get out of the car and just punch each other. David Spade's like, oh, Daddy, the rhino's too close to the car.
Yeah, it's probably it was a similar situation. I'll have to get some pics and
Tony's
show
like,
y'all.
He goes and has chicken wings later. He's like, not so much here or here so much. Right here, though.
But right here. Boom. Yeah. Well, it was an interesting experience to say the least. But you guys have been busy. I mean, podcasts, you hardly have time for me in the podcast. You guys are TV stars. You're on all the major networks out there, right?
Yeah. We're on CBS. It'll be airing tomorrow, actually, as of the show.
Yeah.
But we were on there, and then we're on Fox 5 on Monday.
Yes, tune in 9 a.m.
Yeah.
9 a.m. hour.
Yep, live.
Awesome, live. Wow, I might have to show up with one of those air horns in a can to heckle.
Oh, that would be amazing
on a live broadcast. All of a sudden, you hear, you guys are getting serious now. It's really important.
We'll just tell
for your health. You could really, if you want to live longer and you don't want disease, just
you should just. We'll just tell Fox. We just tell Fox 5 that we travel with our own sound effects.
Oh my goodness.
I think they'll love that.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. Jennifer's like, no.
Cheryl always asks for props and what we're going to bring. We could just say we're bringing a Tony Shore. And she'll be like,
I know Jeff is going to want him to play, for his introduction, he's going to want him to play this.
Financial Panther, eh?
That has to show up somewhere in the clip.
It has to. It is a classic.
All right.
Yeah. So we had a ribbon cutting and we had some awesome clients here. That was so nice. The city was here. The council.
I mean, a lot of people cut ribbons. They use scissors. Why was yours special?
Because they were really big scissors.
They were.
What was the ribbon cutting for? Was that the food?
No, that was for the 541 studio that we officially opened.
And the retirement.
Smith. Yep.
Like a joint. It was a joint since we share the space down there.
Yeah.
It's a joint opening.
Excellent. So are the offices open?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Very much.
It's exciting.
That's very cool.
We
and
did
how far away?
Go ahead.
Well, how far away are they from the studio you guys are at?
Downstairs. Our recording studios we're upstairs on the second floor conference room.
Oh, I didn't realize it was in the same building.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And we live upstairs.
Yeah, we live on the third floor.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I thought this was I thought your studios were in your house, but it's all one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're separated. We have commercial space and then we have our residential space.
That's nice.
So separated by that. So It's a tough commute, which is the oldest joke since we've been here.
Yeah.
It's just lame.
Boy, rough commute this morning.
Oh, 5 minutes.
It's pretty funny.
I think it's important. I don't know. I think it's important that I get out. It's easy to just get stuck in these walls all the time because you work.
Oh, you have to get out. Yeah. It's
like,
super handy and great that you've done it. And I've always dreamt of living above where I work. Like
Yeah.
I look at like my favorite store or a record store or coffee shop, and I see that there's a loft. And I'm like, how cool would it be to live above this bakery, donut, coffee shop?
Yes.
So I just walk downstairs every morning, get my breakfast sandwich, or go down into the record store, flip through some records, but the problem with that is, as you say, you then have to make an effort to get out.
Yes. Yeah, it is. And I think too, because we have the second floor is kind of like a mixed use, so to speak. Like sometimes if we have guests, it'll be like a a guest room where they would stay. Sometimes if we have staff, they'll use that for like their break time, like they'll have their meal. So it's definitely blurring of like the work life.
Balance.
That harder to disconnect and recharge. I find.
Yeah, so that second level is a both. It's kind of combo. That's where that's where your studio is at. Where you're at right now is on the second level,
right?
Yeah. So this is actually the conference room that we're where we are now.
Yeah, this is our
and this is also this is where it like if you put on a comedy show like you did the other day, that's the second level where you take pictures and show Jeff climbing up on something to fix the shades and adjust the shades.
Yes, that's what
and then
happened.
Almost falling and just tangling and cursing because he's tangled up in the shades. It's kind of like
it's like an 80s sitcom.
or an episode of the three
yeah, definitely more
just
that.
with one.
I'm all of them.
I just have that mental image in my mind the one time he was trying to adjust the shades back there behind him, and I don't know what he was standing on, but it was barely standing.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Speaking of Pilates, what in the world is the kind of a yoga / Pilates move back there that he was working on?
Yeah.
But that match, the shades were winning. Jeff shades 1, Jeff 0.
Yes, it happens.
No,
it does happen.
All right. Well, hey, health is wealth and the big beautiful bill.
Yes.
Where do you want to start?
Well, I think a lot of stuff in the big beautiful bill that we should probably address. It is a big deal and lots of changes. One of the cool features I think will be the $1,000 for children to start them off. Nice tax deferred contribution to start them off right. I think it's a smart move. I think it's a great move. It allows people to add $5,000 a year. And what an opportunity to grow money for education. Just a wonderful thought. I hope that people take advantage of it, full advantage of it.
And that's for it's for newborns. So right. any baby born between now and I forget when it ends. Through 2008, you're going to be able. The government's going to give you $1,000 in this account. So you're crazy not to take advantage of that. Even if you don't put anything more in it, you're going to get $1,000 for your child, and it's going to grow. They can't touch it. I think they have to be 18 or 21 before they can access it. 18. And so that's going to grow compounding interest. And especially if you put in that $5,000, tax deferred money, that can grow. And that's great. Yeah.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah. It's called the Trump account. I think it's actually, he puts his name on
He puts his name on everything.
I love that. Yeah. I actually we had a business conference and it happened to be at the Trump Doral.
I've been there. Yes, we were there together.
Yeah, we were there together. And I don't know if you ate in the restaurant there, but I ordered a burger and in the bun, they have toasted into the bun a giant T, the Trump T on top.
I love it.
And then I noticed the carpet in all the rooms. It looks like just a random pattern, but you realize it's capital T's together all over the carpet.
It's all the golf course is the same way.
You can't make it up. I took a picture of the top of that burger, sent it to my family. They're like, "Oh my gosh!" It just where does it end? It's crazy. Talk about marketing, though.
I know.
Yeah,
it was wise. Yeah, it was in this place. I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, that's like taking, that's more smart. It's almost like taking a pretty common name like Smith and just putting anything in front of it. The insurance Smith, the fitness Smith, the wealth Smith.
Yes.
Whoever would do that is smart.
I mean, that's what I say. I don't know.
What do I know? I like it.
Or just branding everything with double F's.
Yeah, I happen to know a couple of folks that have been doing that for a long time. Jennifer's wearing her
that's the only Sesame Street one I saw.
Sponsored by the letter F.
Yeah. Fitness and Finance Radio is sponsored by the letter F. We should do a little a Sesame Street promo to play during the show. I'll find an old recording where it was today's show is sponsored by the letter F.
Oh, that would be powerful.
That would be a great one. Hey, I will throw this in there because I've been reading about this big beautiful bill, and I've been talking to some financial folks around the country, and I'm kind of because it's so big, it's almost 1,000. It's like 970 pages. So there's going to be stuff we're finding out about in months down the road. Oh, there's this too. Really? Nobody's talked about that yet because it's just too much, right? But one of my favorite part of it, there's things in it I hate, there's things in it I love, and I think on both, no matter what side of the aisle, a bill that size, that's going to have some stuff that's going to be great for you and some stuff that you might not appreciate. But I think the best thing that's really going to help the middle class and seniors is the bonus standard deduction of $6,000.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's huge because it's on top of the already extra deduction that 65 and older couples get of $1,600 each. Plus, they raised the standard deduction itself to $30,000. So I did the math. Get this: $30,000 standard deduction. If you're a couple 65 and older, you each get $1,600 on top of that. So that's 16 times 2. Then with the big beautiful bill starting for this year's taxes, it takes effect immediately for 2025. You each, if you're 65 and older and are a couple, will get $6,000 each or $12,000. You add that up, your standard deduction that you get to deduct from any taxable income then in retirement, $45,500 standard.
Incredible gift.
A lot of people who were paying tax on Social Security and were having to pay income tax in retirement, now will not have to. Now it phases out for more wealthy people. If as a couple in retirement you make $175,000 or more, you won't get it. That's where it phases out completely. But otherwise, you're going to get that $6,000 and then $45,500. My mom and dad won't have to pay taxes next year.
I mean, that's incredible
for 2025 because of that. Yeah.
It's a big deal. And honestly, I think it makes it easier for us as planners, to work some of that income in a way to keep them under that dollar amount. You know what I mean? We can be more creative in a way to look at income sources and how we distribute what they have going on. Because Social Security is, shows up as 50% of the AGI. So, using Social Security as an anchor, some pension money, depending on what that looks like, and how we take out money, through Roths or, deferred accounts or non-qualified accounts, or, there's just so many different ways of slicing this up to use as an advantage, so it's very exciting from the planning front to have this for older clients, because it's so important, that they keep as much as they, as they can through this time period. So I'm very excited about it. I can't wait to get started on it for next year. And another thing that's big about it is that we don't have to worry about whether the tax code resets. It's done. They were re-upped, and that's also such a great comfort knowing that we're not going to have some
higher tax rates.
Yeah, something that would, definitely would have been higher. There's no doubt about that. If that didn't pass and they didn't come up with something new, we'd have been hurting.
At the end of this year, it would have reverted back to the earlier tax brackets, which were much higher.
Yes.
So they made the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 permanent. Of course, permanent, let's put it in quotes, because if another administration gets in 2028, in 4 years, then, it could go away, or in 2 years, Congress could change it. But for now, it's locked in for at least another 2 years, which is great.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think about all this and I'm thinking to myself, what if your gym membership or your meal prep service was tax deductible? Would it change the way people invest in their health?
It would, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we already write off illness, right? Hospital stays, prescriptions, medical, lots of medical devices, but we can't write off prevention. And it's one of those topics for me. It's like, why is that? Shouldn't we be incentivizing those behaviors that keep people out of the ER?
Yeah, that's a big point.
Yeah, I mean, one little way they do that is, as you know, is some health plans and health insurance companies do cover a gym membership, some of them. But that's not necessarily encouraging people necessarily to be healthy. They still have to utilize it. And, it doesn't encourage them to eat healthy. I think food is a big one, as you've proven to us over and over, Jennifer, and you harp on this point. And I think it's good. I need to hear it. Other people need to hear it. You need to eat healthier and not cut out processed foods. But the problem with that is financial, mainly. You know what I mean? People run through McDonald's because it's quick and cheap. It's not safe anymore. But the processed food is what's there. And it seems like if I want to get organic or healthier foods, I'm going down to the local co-op, which is more expensive than running into Walmart or Aldi or wherever people get groceries. So,
I think that's why there's such a huge gap in socioeconomic statuses in health.
Yeah,
there's such a huge
there's
gap.
A correlation there, though, isn't there, with wealth and health?
Well, yes, because there's an emphasis on staying healthy and having the knowledge of what to purchase, but also the money to do it. It's not easy to buy organic. It's really not. It's not easy to buy whole food and make it. It's not easy. And if you don't have the time, hiring somebody to do it is not cheap. It's just not.
I just don't. I mean, especially in my industry, it's like health should not be a luxury. And I think by making
I agree.
a gym membership or by making healthy food services tax deductible, that's going to increase access for underserved communities, working families, like across the board.
Let's face it, they make it so difficult.
Yeah.
They make it so incredibly difficult to tax, and they tax food instead of tax, you know what I mean? So, I mean, they just make it harder for, when you have services that are aimed to help, you got to collect a sales tax or some sort of, ridiculous amount of additional taxes and money. But that's a good point. But I think, the administration has a pretty high focus on health. I follow Secretary Kennedy on Instagram, and I listen to a lot of his stuff. He has some incredible ideas, and I think some of the stuff that he's talked about in the past have been kind of not mainstream, not things that people talked about, and it's interesting to see the impact he's had already on the food industry, where about 40% of the companies that were using red dye have eliminated them or have a plan to eliminate them within a short period of time. And that's a really good start because they
wait, not red dye. No more licorice for me. Shoot.
You don't go with the black licorice. You go with red.
No, I don't do the black licorice. Can't do it. Can't do it. Yep. The twist. The licorice lobby is going to come after him hard. You know that.
Oh yeah.
If a doctor, prescribes, I mean, they're prescribing GLP-1s to my clients like it's candy. Ozempic.
And what's that?
Wegovy. It's a glucagon-like peptide. It's for diabetics, but they're using it for weight loss, right?
Oh, you mean like Ozempic or what's the
Ozempic, right?
Ozempic, and then there's another one that I've heard about.
And insurance covers it, right? But if you want to avoid that with a personal trainer or a registered dietitian or functional food meals, you're on your own. I think that's backwards.
Well, and I think that's what he's talking.
Yeah.
He's tired of the pharmaceutical companies having more weight than actual stuff that helps people.
Yeah. I mean, preventive care is real.
Working out and eating.
Right.
Healthy. Like you said, I mean, I think that's something that lines up with and should resonate with every single person, no matter what side of the aisle you're on. I mean, our kids are ridiculously unhealthy comparatively to other countries and just 30 years ago. It's terrible. And, I think, I want to stop short of sounding like a conspiracy theorist, but, you would think that food companies, along with pharmaceutical companies, want you unhealthy enough that you need to eat both of them, to just survive, just to keep going. And I don't want to be a cow milked. You know what I mean? I just don't want it. I want my freedom, and I think that's more important, right? I think what we stand for, Jennifer and I, is freedom at the very core. We want body freedom, we want money freedom, we want time freedom,
financial freedom, and freedom that comes with being healthy.
I mean,
that's a huge freedom. If you're healthy and your finances are healthy, that's a sleep plan for sleeping well at night, living longer.
Right.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's so protective.
In the way you've got to participate in your own health and your own wealth, right? I mean, you have to be. Now, we've talked about making sure you hire professionals like us, and we want that, right? But you have to be an active participant. You have to follow the advice. You have to follow through with the things that we say to do.
You're not going to tell me I have to be responsible for my own actions again, are you? Because
we had
you guys keep trying to convince me of that, and I'm like, wait, that doesn't seem to be the trend.
Is that really the American way? Responsibility for our own.
But I am worried about, and I don't want to sound like now I'm sounding like my grandparents or my parents, but the younger people today, the Gen Zs or whatever, I just don't think they are taking responsibility, and hopefully healthy trends will continue. And I know it kind of became, a lot of people my daughter's age anyway, my middle daughter who's 22, they really are aware of process. They know to avoid processed foods. They went over to, I forget what country in Europe, and it's just like, you can eat whatever over there, and they don't allow processed foods. Like even some of the fast foods like chips, they don't have the ingredients is like 2 things.
Exactly.
And it's like the same brand, but it's actually better for you than when you buy it here. Why is that? You go into a quote unquote convenience store where you'd buy junk food, but all the food and it doesn't have all the whatevers in it, the chemical list, it's like potato and salt. It's like, okay.
Exactly. Well, Gen Z is an enigma for me. I don't understand them, but I mean, I do.
You need to get on the TikToks, Jeff, and I know you've been on there.
You know that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have 2 kids, but I'll tell you what that generation does not lack is money for tattoos. I mean, if you have
my gosh, yes.
I mean, come on.
My goodness.
You have money for that many tattoos, you can go to the gym. You can probably eat a little healthier.
Right. You can pay your own rent. You can get off. You can get off Tony and Sarah's payroll. Is what I'm telling my.
Exactly.
And not that I would name names, my kids, Adam, Anna, and Allie, but wow, Yeah, you got to get them off the payroll at some point. And when they start doing things like getting tattoos or what have you, I just
and what's up with those tattoos? It's like squiggly lines. Like they're You know what I mean? It's not even art anymore. They just like put stuff on their body.
Yeah, and I'm like, is that a symbol from the Fifth Element movie? Why would you put that on your body? Why would you put that on your body? That is weird. I tell them, my wife and I aren't big on tattoos, and a lot of our friends our age, some of them have them. You might have them. I have no. That's your choice. But for our kids, we've always told them no tattoos because it's permanent. And whatever you think is cool now when you're 20 or 21, I'll tell you what, when you're 50 and you're trying to get that corporate job or raise, and you've got SpongeBob tattoo, a SpongeBob tramp stamp on your back. You know what I mean? It's just like, no. Yeah, that's a no-go. So
let's lose the neck tattoo.
Yeah, let's lose the neck tattoo. And talk about tattoos that are hard to lose or cover up, painful. It's like on your face, on your neck.
I saw a guy the other day who had tattoos on his head, on the top of his head. I was like, did he lose hair? I mean, like, I legitimately wanted to ask him, like, did you shave your head, get a tattoo, and think you're never going to lose your hair, and then all of a sudden you lost your hair? You know what I mean? Because it looked like it was not planned. And I mean, it was just
lost a bet, maybe. I don't know. Imbibed and then went to the tattoo parlor is what usually happens, right?
It's true.
Yeah,
man. But tattoos are not cheap, and I'm saying, I'm just saying,
I wouldn't know, Jeff,
wisely,
but
I don't either. Actually, Jennifer and I actually made it this far without a tattoo.
Yeah,
but not that
it's too permanent for me.
It is for me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the piercings. And I told you what my friend Terry Taylor, who's a musician and was performing at this festival, a lot of punk rock bands were there, and he's in this alternative classic rock type band. He's an older guy. He got up on stage, and in the back of waiting for the next band were a lot of punk rockers and stuff. And this festival, I mean, probably 60,000 people there, right?
Wow.
Or 50,000. Yeah. At this point. And he gets up there and he goes, walking around here, the festival grounds today before the show, it looks like a lot of you fell face first into a tackle box. I thought that looks like some of you fell face first into a tackle box.
That is so funny.
That was his way of describing all the piercings. And then a bunch of laughter from up front from their fans, and you heard some girls from the back and silence.
That's so funny.
I'm like, he's taking his life in his own hands there.
I know.
But anyway, most of them weren't bright enough to figure out he was making fun of them or what he was talking about. That's okay. That's okay. No, I kid. But so we talked about the Big Beautiful Bill on the Big Beautiful Show, which is fitness and finance. I love that. This is the Big Beautiful Show. It's very bigly. Jennifer, when you say health is wealth, and I know you guys are talking about this in an upcoming TV appearance, what do you mean?
Well, my goodness. I mean, I think that, the two are so interconnected that you can't have one without the, I mean, you almost have to start now in order to save yourself and your finances, if that makes sense. It's like putting in prevention as your focus. Like even from a saving standpoint, you're not necessarily doing it for the current now. The thrill of saving money is not a real thrill, right? Or the thrill of eating healthy and not having your favorite candy and soda is not a real thrill. But you have to think about the long game. And I mean, I think what we're talking about from the Big Beautiful Bill standpoint is prevention is like, it saves the system money too, right? We've talked about the statistic, and I think it was 90% that, Jeff, you looked it up. It was like chronic diseases account for like 90% or something of healthcare costs.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I want to say obesity is like costs trillion. I don't know, billions.
It's a lot of money.
So
you said chronic illnesses?
Yeah, I think
and obesity. So my mom and dad, there's only the three of us. We've got that covered. I think we got bingo on that card. We've checked.
Yeah.
Bingo.
We've got healthcare cost bingo because my parents, I mean, I make a joke about it because, Jennifer, that's how I deal with things. But Jennifer's all like, don't try to make a joke out of this. I got the look. But my parents both have Parkinson's. and it is very my mom's long-term care right now, because she can't do anything for herself anymore, is $11,000 a month. And I've dealt with obesity, and my dad also has Parkinson's. So yeah. But I'm here to tell you, I'm just reiterating what you say is correct. And these things cost a lot. With my parents, they live pretty healthy lives, grew up on farms, worked hard. So they didn't know maybe some of the herbicides that were used on the farmland where they lived at the time. They think some of that might have led to Parkinson's because they both have it. Doctors don't know what specifically caused their Parkinson's, but it was really no fault of their own. Obesity, I'm not going to pretend that I don't play, when I eat a half or a whole pizza myself, I can't go, I've got a disease. It's not. No, I love pizza, and it's discipline and willpower is what I might lack, and you can still get help for that. But I'm not saying you can't. Well, but they didn't choose their path as much as I chose mine.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because I think this is an important thing to mention. Like, obesity is not a personality issue, right? I mean, who you are is not defined by what you eat. It's not who you are, right? So I want to make that clear. I think the important factor here is we're talking about health, you know what I mean? So it's not a judgment on anybody's character because they're obese, but it does account for a massive amount of health issues, of financial issues, I mean, I did do some show prep, right? So believe it or not, you can sound the alarm now. I did do some show prep.
Oh, wait, what?
It is 90%.
Wait a minute.
60% of adults in U.S. live with at least one chronic condition, and 40% have two or more chronic illnesses. Chronic disease is responsible for $3.3 trillion spent in healthcare annually in the U.S.
A lot.
Yeah, so
trillion?
$3.3 trillion.
That's real money even to you, Jeff. That's huge.
Even more than Doge found, I think, for us.
Oh yeah.
We need to Doge that system.
It reiterates how your health is 100% your greatest asset. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, your body needs consistent care and smart investments to grow so you can protect your future health and your future savings. Both.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, that's huge. And so obviously staying healthy is going to affect your wealth. And if you're not healthy, you're going to run into higher costs, especially in retirement when you're on a fixed budget.
And if you're
Medicare doesn't cover it all. I mean, people think, well, if I'm over 65, Medicare will cover it, but that's not true. Medicare still costs money. You still pay into it, and there's still copays, and there's still a lot of things it doesn't cover. I mean, that prescription drug donut hole, unless you pay for supplemental or have a really good Advantage plan, you're not going to get drug coverage. Even with coverage, drugs are so expensive that my mom and dad are on. I mean, my dad's paying about $500 a month for prescriptions, and that's after he has a really good insurance plan that covers a lot of it. They cover they'll cover $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
Well, they have
drugs and then he covers 500. You think, wow, what a great deal for your dad. Well, he's on a very fixed income. $500 a month to him is a lot of money.
Sure is.
But $10,000 is unrealistic for anyone. So there are a lot of problems we could get into, obviously.
Yeah.
With the healthcare
well,
system.
and it's how they there's tiers in these different companies have tiers for the pharmaceuticals, right? So their reimbursement or their costs being paid for are based on the tier that they put them in. And it seems,
well, the system
arbitrary. I mean, you have, for a specific amount of years, it's in, a favorable tier, and then all of a sudden it pops to an unaffordable one. And, or, you know what I mean? Or vice versa. So too many people get on it. I just think there's too many. I think it's a pill dispensary. I think it's just, I said it. I think it's, I think the medicine, the medical field is terrible. I think it is not preventative in any measure whatsoever. It's not proactive. It's always reactive. And it's always based on the symptoms that you have.
Well,
it's never about the whole part of the body.
Insurance usually insurance often only kicks in after you're sick. I mean, let's face it, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so
that's part of the problem too. But you need to start where you're at, Jennifer. At that level, if people start with you and get healthy, then they're going to minimize that burden, and we won't have to worry about as much about those problems with the costs of.
Let's think about it though. Things. Let's think about this. Like back in the day, you every company had a pension, right? And then the pensions got ridiculous. They got overpriced. They couldn't sustain them, and it would break a company. So they said, all right, that's it. We're offloading it. We're going to give you the opportunity to save money. And then there's a gap between people who were thinking they were going to get a pension and the people that first started those 401ks. They didn't know what to do because they had to save their own money, and no one was telling them what to do. No one was helping them. And now today, thank God, that's the standard, that's the norm, and pensions aren't the norm. And I'm telling you this because to think that we can rely on something bigger to take care of something that we need to be responsible for is really a hard ask, to have the government pay for preventative care. Because
eventually it won't work, and you'll need your own money. You need to be saving your own money, just like you need to be taking care of, being proactive. And Jennifer, I hear you saying we need to be proactive. And so what does that entail? Because health is wealth. You're going to save so much money down the road and have such a better retirement lifestyle when you finally do. And you work so hard your whole life. You want to be able to enjoy retirement. So, like myself, I'm in my 50s. What do you do? How do you implement health as wealth?
I mean, walking daily is more powerful than most prescriptions. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing approach. You need to make sure that you're chunking it in a manageable way and really simplifying it. I have a lot of times when I'm asked, what, like you just asked, what should I be doing? Well, I don't want to overwhelm you, right? And tell you a bunch of things that you probably will never do. So what are you willing to do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's start there. Maybe you're willing to go to bed an hour earlier, and you're willing to wake up and drink 16 ounces of water and take vitamin C and vitamin D3.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where you start.
Right.
And that's simple enough.
Yeah.
That sounds doable. That sounds like
something. That. I think I might do that tonight. Baby.
Yeah.
I mean, I started a little, my starting point was, hey, I'm going to walk between my table and the pizza buffet and back again because Jennifer said walking is good. So I'm going to take more walks between my table. If I double the amount of times I walk from my table to the pizza buffet, I'm doubling my exercise. Sorry. No, that's the wrong way to look at it.
Movement, basically movement is medicine, right? So for me and Jeff, for Jeff and I, it's a lot of different exercises that we enjoy. Tennis, we like Pilates, we like strength training, we like cardio, we're training for a triathlon. And so hearing that for someone that's like, what? I can't do all that. That's okay. You don't have to. Find something you enjoy. Maybe it's dancing in your living room.
Right.
Like nobody's watching during every commercial break.
Yep.
But move your body in a way that feels in a way that feels good for you.
I mean, think about, the fact that we barely have time to do anything, but we make time to do the things that are a priority. And I think everybody does. Mm-hmm. Whatever their priority is, they make time for it. So I think you either want to or you don't. And I think the desire there, I think a lot of people on the surface say, geez, I would love to be fit and healthy, but it has to be a part of you to want that, to desire that without allowing things to get in your way. And I think that a lot of people start out, with the intention, but hit a roadblock or something happens, and then it's the all or nothing mentality sets in, and then they just quit. But you don't have to do a triathlon to be fit. It's really, abs are made in the kitchen. I think that's just something that everybody can do. Is you can't outwork bad bad, eating. So start there. If you don't want to exercise, you hate exercise, eat better.
Yeah. And
okay. Oh,
yeah.
sorry, but right there with eating better, I just want to interject here. One great way, you say it starts in the kitchen, Jeff. One great way to do that is you, Jennifer and Jeff, have started a program, a company to help people do this. What's that called?
Functional food to go.
Yeah,
functional food.
FF2G.
FF2G, another FF logo for you. Functional food to go. So, and that's up and running. Jeff, you've been doing a lot of the healthy cooking for that program. And our listeners in your area can become part of that program, right?
They can. We're reaching our capacity. So we're actually looking to make another hire soon. So we are currently being very careful about not taking off more than we can.
Okay. So I shouldn't be giving the big hard pitch on this because you don't want 100 calls. Because
okay. Yeah,
Jeff, you might have to stay up until 3 a.m. cooking tonight.
Quality is super important. Yeah, you have to
maintain. You want to maintain quality and consistency.
Well,
and so you got to slow the roll and grow slow because you've been helping a lot of people with that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and mostly chronic kidney disease patients. So that's the majority.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, the meal prep, I think that piece of things is not just a convenience factor. I think it needs to be viewed as more of like a prescription. Like this is your meal plan made for you. And I wish that I could send a lobbyist to Capitol Hill and say, wake up.
If I have chronic kidney problems, right, or kidney disease, isn't the foods I eat are just as important as anything else. I'm surprised that health insurance won't cover that.
Right.
And that's there's some I need to do my homework on it, but I know there's like medical nutrition food, which is different than what we're doing, but because it's marketed as medical nutrition food, whereas we're doing whole foods that are optimized for their condition.
Yeah, so I mean it's important too because Jennifer can attest to this, but you have to know the phosphorus levels. You know what I mean that are going into the food. You need to know the calcium, the the potassium, the sodium. I mean, it's micro levels that we're looking at that these people have to stay under. And we're excited to see because Jennifer is able to analyze the blood work and make the prescription. So it's really exciting to see what happens over the next 6 months and see if any of these cases can be reversed or slowed or stopped, so that's the exciting part. And the people that we're working with, we love them. They're amazing people. And so it makes it easier. It's like a passion project for us.
Yeah, it really is.
So it's fun.
Yeah. And building the meal plans, we're doing them seasonally. So, it's nice for me to look through like the, produce, the organic produce that's in season right now, being able to work with the farmer's market and the butcher. And, it's really neat community style project as well. Yeah.
That's great. Well, I think that's fantastic. Now, before the show, you mentioned kind of health is wealth. The question they're going to be asking you on the show is if there's one thing that I could do to improve my health. Was that the question?
One exercise that correlates. One exercise that will help your retirement plan. That's what it is.
One exercise that will help you in retirement or help your retirement plan. What would you say, Jennifer?
I mean, if I had to pick one, I would have to pick Pilates. Because of mobility, balance, and just alignment, overall alignment and strength.
How about you, Jeff? Free weights?
I would love free weights, but no. I think realistically, long term, just bench press. That's it.
Leg press for me. Whatever.
But Pilates for sure, because it does help with that core stability and you become less of a fall risk when you are strong in the core. Alignment, like Jennifer said, we tend to start bending like this as we age and we walk with our head down and tripping. And I think the thing that happens when you really engage in Pilates over a long period of time is that you stay out of chronic care units. You're not you're not going to hurt. There are exercises specifically for people who have osteopenia, osteoporosis, And while there's a lot of things you can't do. There are things that you can do. There are, people who, geez, I had my shoulder repaired in February, and because of Pilates, in part, I have really good care too. I had great doctors that helped me out, prepared me ahead of time, way ahead of time. But I was back on a Pilates reformer probably 2 weeks after shoulder surgery.
Wow.
And I was able to start rehabbing it. Jennifer, I was out of the sling in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah. Well, the next morning he was making oatmeal.
Wow. Yeah. That's awesome.
I was like, wait, what is happening here?
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I felt better. I could sleep again after that surgery.
That's
but
good.
The point is that I think there's a lot of, it's not hard on the joints. It's not gonna, it's not gonna beat you up, but it's gonna provide for you. So I think long term, and that's good news for people who hate running, and hate cardio. Yes, we think it, we would want obviously more than just Pilates to keep you healthy.
Sure.
But if you only had one, all day, I would pick that.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's I want to say before we go here, you both say and have mentioned this a lot, even in past shows, Pilates, which to me is just some foreign word. To a lot of our listeners, it's like we hear Pilates and like, I don't know what language that word comes from, but I know nothing about it, right? I think we've all kind of gotten used to, I do yoga or hot yoga, and we kind of have an idea of what that is, Namaste, right?
Wow,
but
Tony's a pro.
I just did that. It's like breathing.
I love it.
All right. So just a little something for the kids. But let's do a show. And it doesn't have to be a long one. Like this was a longer show. We covered a lot. But let's do a show. Maybe it's 20 minutes. Maybe it's next week. Maybe it's the week after on Pilates. Because I have no idea what you're talking about when you say Pilates, right? And a lot of our listeners and viewers don't either. They hear people talk about it. A lot of people, when I first started, I thought, it's kind of like yoga. But some people think that. But Pilates is its own thing, and I want to hear you guys talk about it. And by you guys, I mean Jennifer. See you, Jeff.
That makes sense. Well, actually,
yeah.
Since we last talked, we both became master level Pilates.
I know that's one reason why I'm suggesting that we just do a show on Pilates. Where does honestly, let's start at the beginning. Where people are curious, where does that name come from? When did you guys? No, we're going to do this on a different show. I'm just throwing this out there. Stop it.
Sorry.
Go find the sleeves for your shirt and then get back to me. We're gonna talk about Pilates on a future show. What it means, how you guys got your start, why you do it, why is it the number one exercise you'd recommend if you had to just pick one. I think that'll be a great show. We're out of time for today's show, but before we go, Jennifer, if health is wealth, how can we get healthy? How can we get a hold of you and tap into that wisdom, get your training? How can people listening sign up for that?
Visit our website at www.fbergfitness.com. That's F as in Frank and B as in boy, urgfitness.com. And then there'll be a button at the top. You'll click on book discovery call and you'll be booked on my schedule.
Awesome. Jeff? Finances. Everybody needs a financial plan in place for retirement. Don't do anything with your 401k or a rollover or, how do you consider healthcare costs for retirement? How do you plan on that? How do you prevent it? How can they get a hold of you?
I get very excited about this subject because it's so vital. And yes, you can get in touch with me at theretirementsmith.com and you can click on a link to schedule a time with us. Chris will hook it up. You can also call us at 540-371-9777, and we are definitely here to help.
All right. Well, I'm going to be drilling you guys about Pilates as you're both experts and master Pilates instructors. I think that's a great topic for a whole show, honestly.
Okay, cool.
Can't wait.
We'll do it.
All right.
I won't sleep tonight.
You won't. She's
thinking about all the...
Be beautiful minding it.
Beautiful mind. I love
she's
that.
just gonna
Yeah.
be like,
Yep.
is good.
Nobody's getting sleep in your house tonight.
No,
Nope.
Jeff will be trying, but you'll be like bumping him. What are you doing? Pilates in my
He's
seat.
like, yeah. He's like, I'm doing
Getting ready for the show. Yeah.
legs and strips.
All right. Well, great show today. And listeners and viewers, Jeff and Jennifer love to hear from you.
Yes.
Let them know, pick up the phone, give them a call. Again, thanks for tuning in to Fitness and Finance Radio with our host. It's one big, beautiful show with our hosts, Jennifer Scherer and Jeff Smith.